Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC CSE, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level and CLAT examinations. And about me, I am Sandeep Bhushan and my experience is 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I take up international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly be helpful for you because I would be emphasizing throughout my lecture on the keywords and the key phrases from the newspaper, wherein we will identify through the keywords and the key phrases the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the preliminary examination of UPSC. And while you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, your answers for the mains examinations would be precise and concise, and therefore you will score higher marks in the mains 2020. So this session will be helpful for you throughout the mains examination. You can score higher marks in the mains 2020, as well as this session will help you to crack both prelims and mains 2021. And this session is in regards to the daily newspaper analysis of the Hindu, and we will take up the DNA of today's, that is 25th December 2020. And before we get into the DNA of the newspaper, we will first focus at the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, without a plan, you are going to stay where you are. It's time to make a move. So what is very important is you need to have a plan. So you need to have a short term, long term, or else even a daily plan, so that if you are not sticking to your plan, or if you're not having a plan, so you're staying where you are, that means you will be idle at one place. So it's time for you to come up with a plan and then keep moving forward to attain or to have the success of the short term, long term and your career goal. And now we'll get into the DNA of the newspaper, and the first analysis which we will look at the news is that about the India filing an case against Vodafone, or it is the case or the analysis is in regards to the Vodafone case verdict. So this is a keyword, that is we would be looking at, or we will be analyzing the Vodafone case verdict and why India has challenged. So certainly India has challenged in a Singapore court, which is the International Arbitration Tribunal, and there the India has challenged against the Vodafone because the Singapore court, which is the International Arbitration Tribunal, has come up with a verdict, and this verdict has overturned the demand wherein India was asking for 22,100 crore in the form of taxes and penalties from the Vodafone Group PLC. So as India was challenging the taxes and the penalties which has to be paid by the Vodafone Group PLC of rupees 22,100 crore, this is a case wherein India has challenged in the Singapore court. And if you look at why India has challenged, now the question is why India has challenged the Singapore court order, that is the International Arbitration Tribunal verdict. Why India has challenged? Because the international arbitration, that is the Singapore court, on September 25th has rejected tax authorities' demand, that is India, wherein we were demanding rupees 22,100 crore, which Vodafone Group PLC has to pay back to authorities, that is tax authorities, in the form of taxes and penalties, which wherein the British Telecom, that is Vodafone Group PLC, which it has gone ahead with acquisition of an Indian operator in the year 2007. So in the form of acquisition, which the Vodafone Group PLC, which is a British telecom giant, has acquired the Indian operator, and in the process the Vodafone Group PLC has to pay back the taxes and penalties of rupees 22,100 crore. But the international court had rejected the authorities or tax authorities or Indian tax authorities demand of paying taxes and penalties from the Vodafone Group. So in turn, India has challenged in the Supreme Court, and when the international arbitration, that is Singapore court, has rejected on September 25th, India had 90 days to file an appeal against the verdict of the International Arbitration Tribunal in the Singapore court, and thereby India has challenged, and this is what is in news. So we have looked at why or India has challenged in the Singapore court against the International Arbitration Tribunal verdict. And when did the verdict come up? It was on September 25th, and India had a time of 90 days to file against the order or the verdict of the Singapore court, and that is what India has challenged now against the Vodafone Group PLC in the Singapore court. And this appeal of India sets the stage. So it has appealed or it has challenged again in the Singapore court, and this now appeal in the Singapore court will lay a foundation or will lay a platform or the stage for the government of India to challenge the order of a three-member tribunal of PCA, that is Permanent Court of Arbitration, which is situated in The Hague. And even the three-member tribunal of the PCA, that is the Permanent Court of Arbitration, has asked India to return in turn 1.4 billion to the British oil and gas company, which is Kane Energy PLC. So here we have the Vodafone, and also we are looking at the Kane Energy. So this focus or the analysis of the news item is in regards to the British oil and gas company. It is in regards to the British oil and gas company, that is Kane Energy PLC, wherein the Permanent Court of Arbitration has asked India to return 1.4 billion US dollars to Kane Energy PLC. So now the link or the what we need to focus here is that as we have challenged or India has challenged in the Singapore court against the taxes and penalties wherein the Vodafone Group PLC has to pay back rupees 22,100 crore to India in the 2007 acquisition of an Indian operator. So this has made it very clear the telecom or the British telecom giant Vodafone Group PLC, this verdict of the International Arbitration Tribunal now gives this opportunity or it sets the stage for the government of India to also challenge the order of the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which is in The Hague, in regards to wherein the verdict of the PCA has asked India to pay back 1.4 billion US dollars to the British oil and gas company Kane Energy PLC. So here the focus is on to two companies, which is British oil and gas company, that is Kane Energy PLC, and also the focus is on the other British giant telecom. One is oil and gas and the other one is telecom, which is both from the British companies, and that is the telecom giant is Vodafone PLC. So here the focus is on the Vodafone Group PLC, which is from the British, and it is a British telecom giant, and the other one is the British oil and gas company, which is Kane Energy PLC. And now how the government, now we will focus at the government of India has demanded rupees 22,100 crore of paying back the taxes and the penalties from the Vodafone. And now we will look at why the India has demanded from the Vodafone Group PLC of 22,100 crore. The reason is because Government of India has used 2012 law. So this is a keyword for an conceptual understanding. that the government of India has used the law of 2012, which gives, or it gives the tax authorities or the tax officials the power to reopen past cases. Look at it. This is crucial information, how you need to get into the conceptual and application part of the understanding of the various cases or the verdicts of the arbitration of the International Court and the Permanent Court of Arbitration. So the 2012 law is the keyword here, wherein this gives the tax authorities the power to reopen the past cases, such as or seeking the taxes and the penalties from the Vodafone, that is telecom giant of British company, and the British oil and gas giant of Kane, which is alleging the capital gains made in several years while it has acquired the Indian telecom operator in the year 2007 and also the Kane Energy PLC. And in turn, both Vodafone and Kane has challenged the tax demands, that is the tax officials or the tax authorities, under a treaty. That is the keyword here. So why the Vodafone and Kane Energy have approached the Permanent Court of Arbitration and the International Arbitration Tribunal, that is in Singapore, because they have approached under, or they have challenged the Indian tax authorities under bilateral investment protection treaties. So this is the keyword here, bilateral investment protection treaty between India and UK, between India and UK. So this is the key phrase which you need to focus for prelims as well as mains examination. That is the kind of issues what we have in the foreign direct investments. What is the thorn, or what is the issue which India has to look at and focus, and then try to come out with a solution, so that the FDIs or the foreign investors would walk in freely, and then they will have more of confidence in investing in India. So both Vodafone and Kane have challenged India under bilateral investment protection treaties, and in turn they have initiated the arbitration and challenged the government of India or the tax authorities. And now the government of India believes that taxation is not covered under investment protection treaties. So look at it, the kind of government of India again giving an answer, replying to under what circumstances Vodafone and Kane Energy PLC has challenged the tax authorities is under the bilateral investment protection treaties. But India, government of India says that, or it believes that taxation is not covered under bilateral investment protection treaties with various countries, and the law of taxation, this is a keyword, and the law of taxation is the sovereign right of the country. So the government of India says that taxation is not covered under investment or bilateral investment protection treaties between India and UK, but in fact the law of taxation or the law on taxation is a sovereign right of the country. That is how the message or the reply to the Vodafone and Kane Energy PLC, the government of India has given it back, and it says that the treaties, that is the investment protection treaties, are primarily aimed, the main aim of the investment protection treaties between India and UK is to protection, or it is for the protection of investments. It is the bilateral investment protection treaties are for protection of investments. So the treaties are for the protection of investments, but the tax is levied on returns earned by the entities. So the government of India very clearly, categorically making a statement that taxation or the law on taxation is a sovereign right of the country, and the tax is levied on returns earned by entities, wherein when it comes to the concept of the treaties, that is investment protection treaties, it is only aimed, or it is primarily aimed at protection of investments, not nowhere related to the taxes, and the tax is levied on returns earned by entities. So therefore, we have looked at this case, that is Vodafone case verdict, and also Kane Energy PLC. This will certainly make you understand the importance of FDI, how we need to focus in regards to the taxes which could be a thorn in the or in inviting the foreign investors in India. So that we need to make a clear picture that there is a clear understanding between the government of India and the foreign investors, even in regards to the taxes. But when these taxes and penalties are being challenged in the International Arbitration Tribunal or in the Permanent Court of Arbitration, will certainly make a sense to the foreign investors that whether they need to come up and invest in India. That question has to be resolved as soon as possible to make sure that the foreign investors would come and invest in a big way in India. And the another news what we have is that economic revival. So RBI Bulletin has come up with a statement saying that there is an economic revival which is certainly to take place even after the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and the India's economic revival is beating all the predictions which have predicted that economic revival will not happen as soon as possible. But as per the RBI Bulletin, which is a monthly bulletin, it says that now the Indian economy is pulling out, or it is moving out of the deep abyss, and it is reflating. That means it is moving in a positive or in a positive note or economic revival, and in turn it is beating or it is going against most predictions made by various groups and rating agencies on the Indian economy or Indian economy. And this has been said in an article that is titled as State of the Economy. And the State of the Economy, in the title or the report, it says that the economic conditions continue to improve since November, and certainly this improvement is shown in two sectors, that is agriculture and manufacturing. And also if you look at, there are other sectors which have definitely get into the mode of having a positive signal in the auto and capital goods, which have been severely impacted during the lockdown, but it would move in a positive and in a forward earning situation wherein Indian economy will certainly pull out of the COVID-19 deep abyss, or the improvement will certainly happen, which it is now showing a positive result in the agriculture and manufacturing. And if you look at these sectors such as healthcare, information and technology, and the FMCG, that is fast moving consumer goods, are also showing stronger earnings. So certainly the Indian economy is at a uptick, is moving forward, is having a revival, and it is beating all the predictions that Indian economy might not really move forward. And there is another article, and this article is a bulletin which is a half yearly review of government finances, and this is by the RBI division that is called as Department of Economic and Policy Research. And when we look at the RBI which has come up with the bulletin, it has showed in a positive signal, but the Department of Economic and Policy Research has warned that the severe impact of COVID-19 pandemic on government finances. So the Department of Economic and Policy Research is still warning the government of India because of the severe impact of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And this Department of Economic and Policy Research says that it is imperative, or it is compulsory and necessary for the center and state to continue various fiscal measures, that is counter-cyclic fiscal measures. This is the keyword. You need to make sure that it is part of your short notes for the mains answers. And here the Department of Economic and Policy Research are wanting, or they say that it is a need of the hour for the center and the states to continue the measure that is called as counter cyclical fiscal measures. Why to continue? Why to continue the counter cyclical fiscal measures? Because to sustain the momentum of the recovery. So we need to make sure that the recovery is moving forward in a positive direction and it is moving ahead, and to make sure that there is an economic revival to the Indian economy, the Department of Economic and Policy Research have made it very clear that the counter cyclical fiscal measures have to continue to sustain the momentum of the recovery which we are experiencing, that is India is experiencing since November, especially in agriculture, manufacturing, and also in the auto, capital goods, and also in regards to the health, IT and FMCG goods. And there is a necessary to focus on social sector, and there has to be a support to the social sector spendings, and there is a measure which is being taken up. That measure is called as revenue expenditure measure. So here we have the two keywords, one is revenue expenditure and the other one is capital expenditure. So the measure which the government of India is taking up, that is in regards to the revenue expenditure undertaken, and this is taken, or this is into the mode of enhancing the social protection. So the revenue expenditure measure, it enhances the social protection to the underprivileged and to address the labor market dislocations which have definitely taken up because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And now to continue the recovery or the economic revival, what is crucial is revenue expenditure measure has to be followed by the government of India so that it enhances the social protection, especially to the underprivileged, and it addresses the issues about the labor markets. And the other social sector support is the capital expenditure. So here the keyword is, another second keyword is the capital expenditure, which the capital expenditure has collapsed in the first of the fiscal, that is 2020 and 2021 fiscal year, and this capital expenditure which has collapsed has to be, or it is needed to be scaled up. That means the capital expenditure by the government of India has to be increased as a priority. So certainly the capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure has to be taken into consideration, and it is a need of the hour to be scaled up as a priority. And there has to be a public investments. This is a third one, especially in the health, social housing, education and environment protection. And this public investment in these four sectors is the need of the hour to build a more resilient and inclusive economy. So the keywords here are resilient and inclusive economy. Therefore, capital expenditure, revenue expenditure and public expenditures are necessary and the need of the hour to make sure that there is an economic revival, at the same time to build a more resilient and inclusive economy. So this we are focused from economy point of view, how the Indian economy is reviving, or revival of Indian economy, through an article published in the State of the Economy, titled as State of the Economy. And there is an issue in the Zomi people. So Zomi people are a tribe in the Manipur, and they are pushing for a BTC like council. So what is BTC? It is Bodoland Territorial Council, which is in Assam. Please do understand, Bodoland Territorial Council is in Assam. So this is a form, or it is a self-administered zone. BTC is a self-administered zone in Assam, and Manipuri's Zomi people or Zomi tribe are wanting Union Home Minister Amit Shah to introduce the same kind of self-administered zone which is in Assam, that is Bodoland Territorial Council. The same way the Zomi people or the Zomi tribes of Manipuris are wanting, or they are requesting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah to make sure that there is a creation of Zoland Territorial Council. So what is important is that we are focusing the BTC with ZTC. So the way the BTC is already in existence in Assam, that is a self-administered zone of the Bodoland called as Bodoland Territorial Council. The same way the Zomi Council has to be created. That is a request put forth by the Zomi Council to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah in regards to the creation of the Zoland Territorial Council. And this they are requesting that is represented by 9 Zomi tribes, and the ZTC has to be created. The request is under the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. Here the keyword is ZTC and the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. How the councils or the self-administered zones can be created by the Home Ministry or the Union Home Ministry is under the 6th schedule, and the Zomi Council chairman is hoping that there would be an honorable political solution. What they are expecting that of self-administered zone called as Zoland Territorial Council, and they are also wanting a political dialogue with the Zomi political groups for the creation of the ZTC, that is Zoland Territorial Council. So here we have focused the keyword is creation of self-administered zone, which is already existing is the BTC, Bodoland Territorial Council in Assam. Please do understand, in Assam. And the demand of for the creation of the ZTC is in Manipur. So this you need to understand that BTC is in Assam and the ZTC is the demand by the 9 Zomi tribes in Manipur to create a self-administered zone called as Zoland Territorial Council. So this is again very important in regards to the polity, because the self-administered zone would be created under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So focus from prelims perspective. And there is another news which talks about the Olympic teams should be given priority for administering the vaccine, which would come up in a couple of weeks from now. And who has put forward that they should be given priority, or the Olympic teams should be given priority in regards to the administering vaccine, is the parliamentary panel. And this parliamentary panel is of the Standing Committee on Education, Women, Children, Youth and Sports, have submitted a report to Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, who is the Rajya Sabha chairman, and the report is titled as Preparation of Olympic 2021, that is Tokyo Olympics 2021. So in this report, the parliamentary panel on education, women, children, youth and sports have recommended that the athletes, the coaches and the support staff which are going to the 2021 Tokyo Olympics should be considered as a priority group for COVID-19 vaccination or administering the COVID-19 vaccination. And the panel, the standing committee or the parliamentary panel, is asking the government to reopen the training facilities which are closed because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And the committee, parliamentary committee, is also saying that because of the lockdown and travel restrictions, these sports persons have lost the international and national competition exposure, and thereby it is necessary and it is imperative to open all the training facilities, or to reopen the training facilities which have been shut because of the COVID-19. And the department and National Sports Federation, the committee says this federation or the department and National Sports Federation must ensure that players will get an opportunity to play maximum international tournaments before 2021. And the committee is also directing the government to to create bio bubbles. So this is a keyword, to create bio bubbles in the training facilities so that the athletes can isolate themselves and they can secure an environment and they can train with minimum possibility of being affected. So all this, being isolated, being securing environment, training with minimum possibility of being affected, could be possible by creating bio bubbles. So the keyword is creating bio bubbles in training facilities, which is the committee is directing the government of India so that the sports person who have lost the national and international competitive exposure would again get into the mode of having the chance or the opportunity to play maximum national and international tournaments before 2021 Tokyo Olympics. And the committee says that the government should be swift in making decisions and granting approvals. Approvals for financial grants, various equipment necessary for the training and representation in international competition. So here we are focused in regards to the polity perspective, which is the standing committee we are focused. This is in regards to the polity perspective, and also now we are focused in regards to the training facilities. So here it is in regards to the, again, sports. We are focused on sports also. So here the linking is between the polity and sports. How the standing committee is recommending that athletes and coaches, support staff should be taken into consideration as the priority group for administering the COVID-19 vaccination. So linking the polity, sports and health. We have focused this for prelims as well as mains perspective. And there is another news which talks about Vishwa Bharati University and self-reliance. So this is the keyword, that is the self-reliance, and the other one is Vishwa Bharati University. Our Prime Minister, that is Narendra Modi, has gone ahead with, or he has participated through a video conference in the celebrations, that is Vishwa Bharati Centenary celebrations. So it is a university. Vishwa Bharati Centenary celebrations have been taken up at the university, and there, while addressing or participating through the video conference, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized the word Vishwa Bharati, which was embodied by Rabindranath Tagore, or it was the vision of Rabindranath Tagore of the word Vishwa Bharati, and it is embodied by Rabindranath Tagore's vision. And there he is now linking that university, that is Vishwa Bharati University, was also an essence of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this is a keyword which the government of India has come up with, Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant India. So now the Prime Minister of India is trying to link the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat to the Vishwa Bharati University centenary celebrations, wherein the word Vishwa Bharati was the Rabindranath Tagore's vision, and he is saying that it was the Atmanirbhar Bharat has drawn the inspiration from the Vishwa Bharati University, and this university, that is Vishwa Bharati University, was set up by Nobel laureate, that is Rabindranath Tagore, in the year 1921 at Bolpur in West Bengal, Birbhum district, and this is information for prelims perspective. And this university is called as, or it was called as Vishwa Bharati because it brings this synergy between the country, that is India, and the rest of the world, Vishwa Bharati. So it is having the link or the synergy between India and the rest of the world. And Prime Minister Mr. Modi has also touched Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's ideas of self-reliance. And he has said that Rabindranath Tagore wanted to see our villages as Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliant. He wanted to see agriculture Atmanirbhar. He wanted to see art and literature as Atmanirbhar, and also business as Atmanirbhar, and also self empowerment, that is Atma Shakti, in self reliance. So he is, our Prime Minister has certainly focused on the ideas of Rabindranath Tagore, linking it with the Atmanirbhar Bharat on the Vishwa Bharati University centenary celebrations. So look at the keywords here: Atmanirbhar on villages, Atmanirbhar on agriculture, Atmanirbhar on art and literature, Atmanirbhar on business, and on self-empowerment. And Mr. Modi has also said that the national educational policy, or the new national education policy, also draws the inspiration from Rabindranath Tagore's ideas of holistic learning. So there are various keywords which are crucial for prelims and mains UPSC perspective. There could be a possibility that in the GS paper or GS mains, general studies mains, that is essay, general studies essay, GS essay, there could be a possibility that the new education policy, which is part of the education, wherein it might say that the new education policy drew or draws its inspiration from Rabindranath Tagore's ideas of holistic learning. Discuss. So there is a possibility. So focus from what our Prime Minister Modi has tried to say about the ideas of Rabindranath Tagore's, linking it with the Atmanirbhar Bharat and linking it with the new educational policy. And Mr. Modi has also said about the Vishwa Bharati institution had a venerable source of energy for the entire country since last 100 years, and Vishwa Bharati University is a pride, or it is a matter of pride for every Indian. And it talks about the journey of Vishwa Bharati University, which is of 100 years and a pride of every Indian. And it says that Vishwa Bharati University reflects the ideas, philosophy, and the efforts of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore for the future of the country. So the focus or the emphasis by Mr. Modi is on the Rabindranath Tagore's ideas on the future of the country, on the Atmanirbhar, on the national education policy, about the holistic learning. And he says that the Vishwa Bharati University is a place of constant energy to the country, and the university has given various, or it has produced various artists, musicians, economists, and scientists to the country. And in fact, apart from the ideas of Rabindranath Tagore and the Vishwa Bharati University's importance, Mr. Modi has also touched the Vishwa Bharati University, and it has linked, and he has linked to the historic context, how the university was founded. So he has focused from the historical perspective, the Bhakti tradition, the Karma Andolan, and fight against the oppression and for independence, were the collective three movements which have led for the freedom struggle and for national awakening. So he has brought in the ideas of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and linked it with the Atmanirbhar Bharat and new educational policy, and also he has linked the Vishwa Bharati University in regards to the historical perspective, and he has focused on Bhakti tradition, Karma Andolan, and fight against oppression and for independence, which have led or which were founded in the Vishwa Bharati University for the freedom struggle and national awakening. So here we have linked from prelims as well as mains, both from GS General Studies essay, and also there is a possibility that from Indian heritage and culture, history, historical perspective also, we can have a very good idea about how this can be part of the mains examination, linking it with the Vishwa Bharati University to the historical perspective, which has led freedom struggle and national awakening. So this is a very good analysis which we have looked at the Vishwa Bharati University with the Atmanirbhar Bharat and national education policy, and in regards to the historical perspective which has led to freedom struggle and national awakening. And now we will recapitulate the DNA which we have looked at. So we have looked at the cases at the international arbitration and also at the permanent court of arbitration. This is in regards to the Vodafone and the Kane Energy PLC. In regards to the taxes and the penalties which the Vodafone and Kane Energy has to pay back to Indian company or Indian tax authorities. And here we have looked at economic revival and focused at various sectors, how these sectors are certainly improving, and in a positive note it is jumping or it is leaping forward for the economic revival. And we have also looked at the ZTC and then linked it with the BTC under 6th schedule. Under 6th schedule, wherein the Home Ministry can go ahead with the self-administered zone of the Zoland Territorial Constituency or Council, which is been the demand of the Zomi tribal people of Manipuris. The way the BTC has happened or it is present in Assam, linking it with the Manipuri, and the government is wanting, or the parliamentary standing council has requested or it has recommended to the government to have or to administer the vaccine to the Olympic team or the Indians who would go for the 2021 Tokyo Olympic team. And we have also looked at this from Rabindranath Tagore's ideas, and also we have focused in regards to the Atmanirbhar Bharat and the new educational policy we have looked at, and then also in regards to the freedom struggle and national awakening. So definitely this we have linked it from economy perspective, education perspective, national education or new national education policy, and then again this is in regards to the historical perspective or history perspective, the freedom struggle and national awakening, how the Vishwa Bharati University has been helped the future of the country, that is future economy, education and the history or the entire the kind of how the India has to move forward. So we are focused in regards to this, and I hope this was a very informative, knowledgeable session linking the macro level to the micro level, that is mains and prelims perspective for UPSC. And then I would say a very big thank you and a good luck to you all. And then do maintain consistency and stick to your schedule and take care of your physical health and mental health throughout your preparation. And do not forget to like the video, share the video and subscribe to the AKS IAS Academy English Medium YouTube channel, and also have access to the website and then sign in to the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And I would also come up tomorrow with the DNA, that is Daily News Analysis, which will be certainly useful and beneficial for you for UPSC prelims and mains perspective. I would say a very big thank you all. Thank you very much.